He's like, yeah, I can sell you these non-performing notes. They're a package of 3 of them for $10,000, all in Columbus, Ohio. So I'm like, for $10,000, that sounds like a good experiment. Let's give it a shot. And again, coming from a real estate background, I'm like, my intention was to take over the property. The approach was find all 3 properties were vacant, find the owner, and then see if they will just sign the property over to me. And it was called the deed in lieu of foreclosure. So you sign the property over, I'll make the mortgage disappear. And the first 2 that I approached, both still lived in Columbus. One was a retired veteran, and he's like, yeah, where do I sign? The second one was a young girl, her and her boyfriend, they were probably, early 20s. Her and her boyfriend had picked up this extra property during the heyday where, no money down, all those things. And with, great intentions, they were going to rent it out and have it as an income property. And then, of course, it all went sideways and south and all kinds of directions that shouldn't have gone. And they're stuck with it. So, and then they broke up. So now it's in her name and she's got this debt hanging over. So that was the real light bulb. I'm like, okay, this can work. Then I talked to her. And I said, so I'm here. Here's the paperwork showing that I own the loan, but I'm not here to collect any money. All I want is the property. If you'll sign it over to me, I'll just make this loan disappear. And she started crying and she's just like so grateful. And she's like, really do that? I was getting all choked up. I'm like, holy smokes, this is amazing. Like, look what I'm actually doing for this person. I was not, there was no altruism going into this. I wanted the property. I wanted to make some money. And then I was like, wow, I'm actually solving some problems. This is really cool. So that really turned me on to it. And I'm like, okay, this is good stuff. Let's do more of this. And then I started buying non-performers, a lot of them. Got different investors, again, my brother-in-law, and then some other investors on board and started buying up non-performing loans left, right, and center. And over the years, hundreds of them. And they're great. They're tons of fun.
And then, so now you own the property outright. What are you doing with it? Selling it outright or?
Yeah, if I end up owning the property, which in those days, often I did, most of the time when I ended up owning the property is because it was already vacant. So they'd either abandoned it or somebody died or something like that. So taking back the property in that case, it was really rare, and still is. It's really rare that I actually foreclose on a person. I'm usually just foreclosing on an empty property just for that legal process to get me title.